Alright, HadesOmega here. So what I'm doing today is I'm gonna try to set the sag on my bike here, because I just got this new Cogent shock. The way you do it on the stock shock, this is pretty much a stock shock, is you need to loosen the collar here on the top, and then that allows this one to move freely. There's some accessories you can buy to make it easier. I can tell you that that it pretty much has the full preload already taken out almost. There's a couple threads left down here, so I can still adjust it a little bit. So, but yeah. So what I'm doing is adjusting the sag. So on the supposedly on the DR650, the travel is 9 inches. So you want to set your sag for a third of the full travel. So since it's 9 inches, a third of 9 inches is 3 inches. So we're shooting for 3 inches. So what I'm gonna do is you can't adjust it while everything is on the bike. Is the problem. What I had to do is to install the shock is I had to put the take the airbox out. So there's no airbox right now. There should be an airbox right there, but I've taken it out. So after that, I'm gonna put the seat back on, or at least just place it on there, and then I'm going to sit. Oh, it's going to be tough, huh? I have to have somebody measure it for me. But I'm going to sit on the bike, and then I'm going to load it with like the standard loadout. Oh, then I would also have to be wearing my gear too. At least put like most of the stuff that you ride with on the bike. If you don't normally ride with the adventure stuff, don't worry about it. So anyway, so this is what I've done to do it. I have these moto racks here, the side racks, and what I've done is you need to measure from the axle to something on the body. So I've elected to use the side racks, and then I have my handy dandy I have a measuring tape right here. So what I've done is I've stuck a since the DR has a hollow axle. Looks like it has a hollow axle. Yeah, it does. At least one side is hollow. I stuck this. I've stuck this. What is this? A socket extension in there, so it kind of sticks out a bit, and then I measure from here to up here, and then that'll give you your also it's on the center stand. So if you don't have a center stand, try to find some way to get all the weight off of the rear of the bike. But also this is for the rear sag. The front is a little different, but I'm just gonna go over the rear because I just got this shock, so yeah. So just measure. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure from here to here, and I've already done it. It's 12 inches. But, I'll kind of demonstrate it for you. So like from there to there. So see, I'll go that up there, and I just choose a point of reference. So what I did is I used the bottom of the socket there. That is roughly 12 inches. See, so you can see almost 12 inches. So I'm just gonna use 12 inches. And then what you got to do is load the bike up, and then adjust it accordingly. Okay, so that's pretty much that's close to where I'll have it. I got 100 miles on the tank. It's only half a tank of gas though. Yeah. I didn't account for gas. Damn it. Anyway, so you can go get kind of a general estimate of how. Plus, I should have my gear on and sit on the bike, but you can get a general estimate of how much sag there is. So just go ahead and measure it like this. This Rotopax is actually supposed to be on the side here. I totally forgot about that, but I just put it on top of the bike. It's all right. Here we go. It's pretty much, it's roughly where it normally would be. Just try to keep it where it normally would be. It's on the back somewhere. Alright, so just go ahead and measure it again. Alright, so what I went and did is I put the bike up, I moved the bike up like this, and then so see how the suspension moves when you take it off the side stand? Yeah, so maybe you may want to bounce it up and down a couple times. There, and then I measured it from here. I tried to did it with one hand. So, and then I got about 9.25 inches of travel. Well, 9.25 inches is how much I measured. So, if you subtract 9.25 from 12, you got 2 3/4. So we're pretty much spot on to where the sag should be. But I haven't done it with me on the bike, so so that means we're I don't have to adjust it quite yet. But if you've already put all the gear on the bike, and if you already got it to this point where you get the gear on the bike, and then you've already exceeded the 9 inches. Yeah, because 9 inches is the 3 inches already, so you're shooting for like 9 inches from the axle to wherever you're measuring, and then that's the sag that you want. So right now we got too much preload. Too much. It's close. I think it's close enough, but I haven't sat on the bike yet. That's an extra 175 pounds I'm gonna put on the bike. So hold on. So yeah, we're pretty. So that means that I definitely don't have to. We definitely don't have to adjust it yet. But I still have to get on the bike. Okay, so I got my gear on here, and I went and sat on the bike, and I had somebody, a helper, measure how much the sag was, and it was at 8. So that's too much. I went too much weight. So we need to increase the preload. That means. So you basically just do that until until you get the proper sag, the 9 inches. I think if you're pretty close, it should be fine. Yeah, if you're pretty close, it's fine. I think I would shoot for like 8.5 or something, because the reason being is it doesn't have to be like spot on, because you're gonna be so like I got a half a tank of gas, and then while you're riding, your bike is getting lighter. You know, sometimes I don't always ride with all this junk on the bike. Maybe so you may ride the bike with different stuff. Like I have nothing in the side bag right now, actually, so it should actually be heavier. So, but one thing's for sure, I probably should beef up the preload. So without me on the bike, it was 9.25. So maybe shoot for, just adjust it a little more and try to get it as close to 9 as you can. All right, and I don't have much more preload, so I'm at the limit where like I may need to get a new spring, a heavier one. So that's one way you can tell if you need a new spring, if you run out of preload. All right, it's kind of getting dark here, but this is how you adjust the preload. For example, so you got to have one of these little wrenches here. You can get these at your local motorcycle store. Like I think I got this at Cycle Gear. I think you should have 2 of them. I only have 1. I also have. There's another one. There's another one I have. There's that one. I have this one. So both of these work. This one you need to have a wrench. This one you use a ratchet. You just use like a ratchet or something with it. And this one is just this. So I think for simplicity, I would just take this with you. I'm gonna use this. So basically, you're supposed to loosen this top nut here. You're supposed to loosen the top nut, and then it's supposed to allow you to move this. But as you can see here, it still moves with the bottom nut, so I don't know, whatever, dude. So you just want to keep on adjusting that, and then see the whole thing, the whole spring moves. It's crazy, right? The spring is moving much. And you can really only do this without the what is it? Without the airbox in here. So if you have the airbox in there, it's very hard. You probably got to get like a screwdriver or some shit and hit it with a hammer. Also, that's a trick. If it's stuck, if the preload collar is stuck here, sorry, it's so dark, but if the preload collar is stuck, you can use a hammer and like a screwdriver to budge it free and put some like WD-40. I just had this shock freshly rebuilt, so it should be fine. So yeah, just keep on adjusting it until you get it close to 9 inches when you do your measurement. Alright. So that's how you adjust your preload. So I'm pretty close. I just have to adjust it a little bit more, and then it should be good. Easing out. So don't worry about it being spot on, because your bike weighs different things at different times. Like if you go eat something at McDonald's, you know, you may be like 5 pounds heavier. Who knows? You know. So don't beat yourself out. It doesn't have to be precise. It has to be close though. Right. So HadesOmega. Alright, so those are my final adjustments right there. As you can see, I adjusted the collar a good ½ inch right there. I just measured it. So, and I have hardly any adjustment left. So I'm pretty much at the max. Pretty much at the limit of what it can do. It's kind of weird. I wonder what all that white stuff on the shaft is. I'm pretty much at the limit of what this shock can handle. So yeah. So like yeah, I was right. I was pretty close to the limit of this, and then like having to get a new one, you know. So I think it'll be okay. I sat on it. It feels a lot stiffer. It doesn't sag as much. So I didn't have it adjusted properly. But I don't know. But this is the way I got it back from Cogent. So yeah, there it is. So that's how you adjust your sag on a DR650. HadesOmega. And basically all you have to do is just put the bike back together, put the airbox in the boot, and bolt the seat on. I didn't bolt the seat on because I just sat on it. Also, I wanted to point out that if you increase the preload on the spring, you'll probably be raising the height of the bike. So that's something you might want to think about. It was still okay. I could just I could stand on the balls of my feet, so that's fine. That's perfect. That's exactly how I wanted it. Before it was too low. I don't know why. Yeah. So I mean, if it becomes too tall for you, if you feel it's too tall, you can still. I have it on the bottom shock adjustment. You can move it up one, but you risk what happened to me, the wheel hitting the bottom of the fender when you bottom out. So yeah. So hopefully it's better now. I have it at the bottom shock setting, so the tallest shock setting. So. But I'm like 5'10", so pretty tall dude. If you need it to be lower than that, then just go ahead and lower it. I mean, fortunately you're not as heavy as I am. I'm 175 pounds, so yeah. Fortunately you're not as heavy as I am. If you're shorter than me, HadesOmega out.